A leader's poisonous influence. It is very easy for a leader in his or her short-sightedness to make decisions that have negative generational consequences. The fear that one harbors today can cost a whole clan for many years to come. Selfishness, to the point of only thinking about the immediate, normally at the expense of the ultimate, can likewise be very disastrous. A leader can have a poisonous influence that can kill many. There is a record in Scripture where Moses, the great leader, sent out 12 leaders to go and explore the promised land. They were heads in their clans. They were leaders who were looked up unto. They demanded to inspire their fellows like what any other true leader should do. The land they were supposed to explore was already theirs by promise. At the same time, they were supposed to appreciate physically how it was like and what was available in that land. The instructions were very specific. Go up, go down through the land, see what is in the land, whether the land is productive or not. Bring back the fruit of that particular land. The expectations were very much beyond question. They were meant to lead the way into the land of promise. For a good 40 days, they explored the land and they appreciated how good it was, as it indeed flowed with milk and honey. The fruit of the land in the form of grapes, figs, and pomegranates was picked up in the valley of Escol. The land was indeed very productive. Challenges have always been a way and a part of our very existence on earth, right from the beginning to where we are going. The price must be paid for any great prize to be realized. The land of promise had its own challenges. There were giants who inhabited the land, the sons of Anak, by the name Sheshai, Talmai, and Aiman, were dwelling in the mountains of Hebron. This then became the crux of the very matter in question. Why? Because the spies' camp was divided into two camps. And likewise, the whole Israelite community was given two different reports. All the 12 spies had the same external experiences. They all saw how productive the land was. They had taken the huge bunch of grapes from the valley of Escol. They all knew that this land was the land of promise. This was the very land as to why they left Egypt, heading towards Canaan. This is the land they were supposed to possess. The internal conclusions of the 10 of the leaders differed markedly from the other two. The 10 spies said, no, we can't proceed. Caleb and Joshua on the other end said, let's go, because we are well able to conquer. The 10 spies said, we look like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and even in their eyes. The two said, the land we pass through is exceedingly good. The 10 said, "It is good to go back to Egypt, lest we die in the wilderness." The 2 tore their clothes and said, "If the Lord delights in us, the people of the land that we spied through is like our bread." The 10 thought of death, but the 2 thought of life. The 10 were immediate focused, but the 2 were ultimate focused. The pendulum weighed against Caleb and Joshua, obviously because they were in the minority. The majority's wrong decision carried the day, pointing to the fact that the majority is not always right. Progress was hampered. For 40 years, the people of promise went round and round in the wilderness. A whole generation perished because of the poisonous influence of a few short-sighted leaders. They poisoned the minds of a people for that particular day, but the impact had generational consequences. A leader with pessimistic mindset will never take people to any meaningful destination. The promised land cannot be reached by a leader who has a slave mentality. The whole congregation perished in the desert because they bought unto the fear which was instilled upon them by the leaders who lacked focus. A leader who is filled with doubt can never inspire people to a worthwhile destiny. Instead, a short-sighted leader takes people backwards. Leadership is positive movement. It is positive influence. It is not stagnation. Great leaders are transformational in their perspective, in the manner in which they execute their mandate. And they are never content with going in circles. The main difference between the majority and the minority was the attitude. Attitude is a game changer. Attitude is the leader's response to external circumstances. Caleb and Joshua chose to stand out and face the challenge. Hence, they were outstanding. The others chose to cow down and sink into oblivion. The majority chose to disobey God. They forgot every promise they had received. The great exploits they saw throughout the journey were in their eyes smaller than the giants of Canaan. Their disobedience spread fast like poison into the very hearts and minds of the whole congregation of Israel. The 10 leaders were so short-sighted to the point of believing that the land they spied had no future. What they didn't realize is that there is no future in the past. The past has memories, of course, but those memories, in as much as they are so vivid, there is no future that lies in that past. A past and backward mindset infests the very potential of people to a point of destroying a generation. Through a negative report, few leaders denied almost 2 million people an opportunity to stake into the promised land. These people missed their inheritance, mainly because of the poisonous influence of leaders. The Israelites were driven back into the wilderness to die. The whole generation died, but Caleb and Joshua lived to see a new era of living in the land of promise. It always is It always rises and falls on leadership. The leader's attitude makes all the difference. The decisions made today in haste have generational consequences. Leadership attitude becomes the major difference between success and failure, between progress and stagnation, between delay and an encounter with destiny. It rises and falls on leadership.